Hi everybody, this is Dom and welcome to Raising the Barber. She's lady, anyway. In today's episode I'm so happy to have Paul Charles. I was lucky to have Paul multiple times during the years on my chairs, and Paul is very motivating, he's very energized, he's full of ideas, he has never stopped. So please don't forget to subscribe, hit the button and share it to all of the world so we can get more attention. So I'm very excited, so let's go.
Yo, listen to this, it raising the barber, caught dips or chopping up, rubbing it hard.
ready to-
Yeah, rock and roll.
You
Rock
know
and
it's
roll.
wet fit.
I hope you can see my hair.
I can, because you can't see yours. But I mean, like, if you really you see that little thing, you can see yourself. Welcome to Raising the Barber. How are you?
I'm feeling fantastic, thank you, Dom. It's
That's great.
great to see you again.
Great to see you as well.
Yeah.
How's it been this past month?
Busy, actually. I've just been traveling a lot. I've just come back from Bali in Indonesia, where I was at a conference, and then the week before that I was in Dubai. My job involves a lot of travel, as you know, so very busy. And we've had some new team members, and it's just been a frantic period, but nice frantic.
That's good.
Yeah.
So it's good, busy.
Yeah, really good busy.
That's
And
good.
I didn't realize it would be this busy, I think, at the start of the year. I thought it would be a little less frantic and a bit more measured. But it's become really busy, which I guess is a really good sign, right? It's a
Obviously.
sign of things growing and people having lots of work to do, and we're seeing
Changing.
lots of clients, so that's
Lots of
good.
planning.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you hire new people, so you need to care about more clients and.
Yeah, so I hired just today 2 new people into the team. Just had a sit down with them and put them at ease and said, don't worry about anything, and my door's always open, and ask any question. And they're great, and they're joining us from other PR agencies that they've been working for. And they're really full of energy and fired up and want to bring their expertise in. It's such a great feeling hiring people. It makes you feel good as a boss that you're
True.
giving people jobs, a lifeline, you're developing their careers. I love it. It's great feeling, and better than laying them off.
Definitely.
Better than making people
Yeah, we
redundant,
talked
right?
about it as well.
Yeah.
So, how can I help you today for the haircut?
Well, I need all the help you can give me on my hair, I'll tell you. I like getting it cut sort of every 5 weeks or so. So you've probably got 5 weeks or so growth on this.
All right.
So I like it quite short, sort of number 3, 2, 2.5, 3. Smart, I really like a great smart cut. And above the ears, and something that I know will grow in well over the next 5 weeks or so. The thing is, in the summer, we're in the summer period, it grows fast.
You feel it grows.
Yeah, it really grows fast in the heat. So I know that I'll be coming to you again in about 4 weeks, probably. But it's going to
for the
grow
business.
fast. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah. By the way, okay, so 3.5, 2.5 into 3, maybe a bit shorter on sideburns. And
I'll
the
take
back
your best
here,
advice, whatever
I
you
do
think.
the best haircut you've ever had.
Oh, it will be the best I've ever had. Yeah, no. I
It's
keep
always
coming
like a
back.
bit of
I keep
improvement,
coming back
isn't
to
it?
you, right? So
That's
it's
the
a good
thing.
sign.
It's a little improvement every time. So you were talking about the conference. So what was the conference about?
So I was in Bali for an annual meeting of our network of PR agencies. So I run an agency here in the UK, but we're a member of a global network of agencies.
Okay.
And there's 23 of them, and we all meet up each year, all the owners of each agency. We meet up each year to discuss latest plans, best practice, best way of doing things, best way of keeping clients really happy and how to service them well, best practice employing people, AI, we're starting to talk about AI and artificial intelligence, how that's coming on stream. So all that sort of stuff, and believe it or not, it does take 4 days of being in Bali to discuss all that, I promise. It's not all beach time.
Really? It's not. So it's like literally like no time off.
Well, I will admit to swimming for an hour every morning and getting my steps and laps in. But yeah, there's a lot of time. And you know what? It's a really hard time zone to work on because
Is it?
it's 7 hours ahead of the UK.
Oh.
So when it's 5 p.m. in the evening in the UK, it's late at night in Bali, and you're still doing emails and talking to your team and doing client phone calls or Zoom calls. So it's quite a hard time zone to work in, even though it's a beautiful place. I love Bali, it's great.
You were doing this also before your agency, right? You were like working for others and maybe traveling also more or not?
So I used to work at the BBC.
Right.
I was a news reporter for 10 years or so. I've worked with some amazing people over the years, which I'm sure we can talk about. But I've always traveled quite a lot, and I love traveling. I think it brings out the best in people. You explore, you get to see new places, you get to meet amazing people and build your network. You get to taste incredible food in different parts of the world. I love it. I love traveling. It keeps you young, keeps you healthy, I think. I'd recommend it. Get out. Don't stay stuck behind a desk for the rest of your life, or don't stay stuck behind a mirror, in this case, for the rest of your life. Get out and see people and meet them and laugh with them and cry with them. I love that. I love traveling. Yeah, it's in my blood.
I do love traveling too. That's why I wanted to have a chat with you.
You get out to Italy a lot, right?
I go to Italy a lot. Yeah. I go to. I've been traveling a bit more since I'm in London, to be honest.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have more chance to travel. You know, you can. London's very easy from here. It's super easy to go literally anywhere.
Yeah. We're lucky. We're lucky to have it as a hub.
Absolutely.
It's a great place.
That's why I've done since I'm here. Right? I do like 3, 4, maybe 5 flights a year.
Yeah.
I do visit different places. I go back to home a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to Italy. So that's what I do. It's a
beautiful country. Amazing place.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah, I love Italy. I've probably been to Italy, I've lost count, maybe 50, 60 times in my life. I've got some clients in Italy, friends in Italy, traveled there for holidays. It's one of the best places in the world you can be at. It really is.
I'm happy you say that because it is.
And I'm not just saying it because you're cutting my hair. So if you were Portuguese, I'd be going, it's the best country in the world, Portugal.
Then you know all the little places. Sometimes you know more than me. It's crazy, but sometimes we talk about some places I've never heard. Oh yeah, I've been there. It's beautiful vineyard. They do this, that. Do you want to talk about the wine that you made and stuff?
Oh, we could talk about wine. I'm lucky enough to have bought a small share in a small vineyard in Puglia. And the grape there is the Troia di Nero. Di Nero is beautiful. It's
Nero di Troia.
Yeah, it's absolutely phenomenal. And it's got quite a heavy taste to it, but it's a beautiful red. And I bought a share, and as a result of the share, I get about 70 bottles a year or so to take home, if I can get them home. And I love it. It's so drinkable. And I think actually I was with friends the other night and we got through seven bottles in one go. It's delicious wine.
It's pretty heavy, you said, but
yeah, it's quite a heavy grape. It's heavier than a Montepulciano, I think. It's quite a heavy grape.
It can be. Yeah. It depends. Again, depends on a percentage of the alcohol and stuff, the volume, but. Yeah, it's definitely super tasty. It's not really known around here. I was lucky enough to have one bottle once. I went to a random shop, I found it. But then the second one was yours, actually. And it was so good, really.
Oh, that's nice of you to say. I didn't obviously make the wine.
Obviously.
I just brought it home. But I was able to put my own label on it. So
the label.
I asked you actually for advice on what I should call it.
Yeah.
And you spent hours thinking about it and eventually said, why don't you just call it by your Italian name?
Yeah, because you're Paolo Charles.
Paolo di Carlo.
Good Paolo Carlo. Paolo, easy. Paolo Carlo.
So Paolo Carlo was born and you've had a bottle of it. It's delicious, yeah. It's
and also, thanks to you, I got the name of the podcast. That's what I wanted to say, because, remember that time we were thinking about that. So we're thinking about what can be the name, the title of this.
Yeah.
And slowly, during a haircut, we came up with this. And I'm really thankful, because everyone loves it and it works perfectly.
Phew, that's good to hear.
Honestly, after
I
all
do work in branding.
Yeah, that's
so
what I was,
quite
after all
lucky.
these years, I mean, it came up pretty easy. Really, really easy for you to find a name.
I think I gave you a few options, right? And,
Yes,
and you chose this one. And
Yeah.
that's great. You choose something that immediately you feel works and it's from the heart and people will remember it. And it's great you're doing a podcast. I'm honoured to be on it.
Oh,
It's great.
so happy.
Yeah.
But let's go back to your business, because you worked for. I remember you worked for Virgin Atlantic. You worked a lot for BBC. So you jumped from literally like an industry to another. Still doing PR, obviously, most times. But you managed to do everything in a smooth way. Do you think? Or sometimes you had a bit of up and downs?
No, I'm lucky. I'm so lucky that I've had amazing places to work in. My career has been a great career so far. I came out of university. Before university, I'd been working as a freelance for the BBC, as a reporter for BBC Radio and TV. So even during school years, I was working at the BBC as a Saturday tea boy, making the tea. There aren't many of those jobs around anymore, but back in the 80s and stuff, mid 80s, late 80s, I was working as a tea boy, helping presenters on radio, Nottingham, where I'm from. I helped great people like Simon Mayo. I helped, some amazing presenters, and I caught the bug. I got the bug for broadcasting and for radio. I loved it. Then I was asked to read out the sports results and the football results on the radio. Nottingham Forest won, Manchester United 2.
Because your voice is so like.
Well, there are different great. Thank you, but there are different great voices on radio, and people like, they love hearing accents, or they love hearing maybe posher accents sometimes. But I love radio. It's a great medium. And so I worked my way up through local radio during school time, working on Saturdays and weekends. Then they gave me shifts in the newsroom, and I worked as a reporter on news. Then I took a year off before going to university and worked for the BBC in London and Birmingham at Pebble Mill, as it was, and Nottingham. And I loved it, and went to university. And whilst I was there, they trusted me to be a reporter on the morning breakfast show. So every morning on a weekday, I was getting up as a student at sort of 4:30 in the morning to go and present the sports bulletins. And obviously in Manchester, where I was at university, we had great teams like Manchester City and Manchester United and Bury and all sorts of teams around there. So I was interviewing, players, managers like Alex Ferguson, players like Brian Robson, Ryan Giggs, Peter Schmeichel, all the great players of their day in the 80s and early 90s. And during my time at university, the BBC asked me to be their Olympics correspondent in Manchester. So I then did a lot of reporting around the Olympics. And after university, I then went to London and worked for the BBC full time. And worked there for 10 years as a presenter and reporter on radio and television. And I loved every minute of it. It was amazing. And I think that's probably where I caught the travel bug, because I was traveling for the BBC. I traveled to the Barcelona Olympics, to the Atlanta Olympics. I traveled to interview prime ministers and presidents all over the world, famous people, not so famous. And it was just a dream job. And I loved it for the 10 years or so I did it.
Unbelievable. So you interviewed prime ministers?
Yeah, I interviewed Tony Blair, President Bill Clinton, just two of those I can name from around the world. Incredibly privileged, to have that access that when you work for the BBC, it gives you that sort of access, interviewing people. And yeah, I mean, sometimes, it was anything from a chip pan fire in Birmingham to interviewing the Spice Girls or interviewing lots of sort of pop groups and rock groups over the years, or interviewing famous people like, the first British woman into space, Helen Sharman, or theatre directors like Cameron Mackintosh, all sorts of people. You never knew every day who you'd meet, who you were going to interview.
Wow. How do you
and it was a
prepare
dream
for that?
job. How do you prepare? It's a really good question. I think you keep calm, you do your research, you ask the questions you think your listeners really want to know. Because when you've got that sort of special privileged access, you're lucky. You're lucky to have that access to people, and you can ask them within reason, really, the questions that everyone wants to know. So you have to think, what are those questions that people want to hear over maybe a 3 or 4 minute interview? Because many of the interviews would be quite short. No one wants to listen to something, often for 10 minutes about news or business. They want to hear something really succinct. So I always felt like 3 or 4 minutes was a good interview, and you had to ask as many questions as you could in that time. And hopefully there were questions that people wanted to hear.
What's the Swift? I mean, obviously now you are in a new world, right? But what do you think as an expert that what's changing in interviewing people, and also like what's the role of the podcast nowadays? You know what I mean? Because now you see people like talking for hours and hours. That's why I wanted to shrink mine for maximum an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I want to have the juice of it. I just want to have like a good experience that people can watch while they commuting. And that's it, finito. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You've got to keep it focused. I think you've got to, I actually think people have limited attention spans these days. They've got so much information coming at them. They put their buds in their ear, and they've maybe got 20 minutes, 25 minutes, really they're listening, and it might be on the tube or on their bike or whilst they're walking. So you've got to keep it really focused and ask succinct questions, short questions, and hopefully get short answers. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much. But I reckon these days we all want more podcasts because we've got the time to listen for maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes whilst we're commuting on the tube, or whilst we're traveling in our cars, or on the bus, or on the train. So I reckon the ideal podcast is actually no more than half an hour, and you find out something you didn't know about someone, or you find out some information that you never thought of before. And as long as you come away with 2 or 3 snippets of great information that you never knew, you've learned something, and that's a great podcast.
So true. So true. That's why you're here, my friend.
Hopefully. Someone will learn something, I hope.
I was working for Virgin.
Amazing. So, so after the BBC, I went to work for Eurostar. I was director of communications. I launched the high-speed line, prepared Eurostar for St Pancras, the move to St Pancras, because it used to be at Waterloo. Did a few years there, loved it, and after Eurostar, I got a phone call from Sir Richard Branson, and basically he asked me to come and work for him at Virgin. And you don't turn down Richard Branson. He's one of the most well-known business people, respected business people in the world, so experienced and talented. It was a dream come true to go and work for Richard. And he was amazing. I worked with him for just over 4 years or so in Virgin Atlantic as his communications director. And working for Richard is a dream. You travel all over the world with him. He's so experienced. He has a contacts book as long as it takes to get to the moon and back. He's so normal, and people often think billionaires, they're going to be out of this world. They're people you don't really want to talk to. They're not very nice. He's so nice. He's so measured. He never shouts at anyone. He gives lots of advice. He teaches you lots of things. He cares about people. He wants to know about them. He's curious. He goes on learning. I mean, what is he now? He's 74, 73, 74, and still he wants to know, and he cares about people and is learning at that age. It's remarkable, and his career has been incredible. So I think when you work for someone like that, not only are you privileged and honoured to be working for them, but they teach you a lot about the world and how business is as well. And
True.
so, it doesn't get much better than working for Sir Richard Branson, no doubt about it.
Wow.
He taught me a lot. He taught me a few, things like always say thank you to your team. You can never say thank you enough. It's so important to keep saying thank you to people and well
To feel
done.
it.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, that's the number one thing. It's tell your people how good they are. It's your people that make your business. Without them, you're not in business. As I say, he always had lots of ideas. So he always kept it fresh. He always kept coming up with ideas. And he knew that maybe 2 of them would be amazing and some of them wouldn't be amazing. But every day we spoke, he'd be full of ideas and how can you develop something? So his mind is constantly working. And the sign of a good entrepreneur is somebody who keeps it fresh, keeps coming up with ideas, keeps moving their business forward. And that's something actually I just spoke to the 2 new people I hired today about. And I said to them, we love, my business, we love keeping it fresh and adjusting all the time and making it better. And you could see they love that. They said, that's great. And the size of relief on their faces, they've come to work somewhere which is refreshing and always changing. And I think that's important in this day and age. You've got to be agile. You've got to be so agile in keeping up with things and suggesting new things to clients. It's really important. So that was something he taught me. He taught me a lot.
Definitely. I think that, keeping it fresh, especially, giving people the chance to learn more and also to give them motivation because, it doesn't really matter how much you love your business as an owner.
Yeah.
If you're not able to convey this into people and to explain them, to show them how much actually you care about
You've got to have the passion. It's so important because the culture is set at the top. You've got to have the passion for your clients, for your team, for the ideas in your industry. That's why you win clients and lose them sometimes because you're not passionate enough or you're not enthusiastic enough. And it shows if you're enthusiastic and you show excitement around things, they're going to feed off you for that. Both your clients and your staff and your team members. Actually, I never call them staff. Staff's a horrible word. They're colleagues, they're team members, they're the talent.
Why do you believe a staff is a horrible word?
I think staff is very old-fashioned. And staff is you and them. It's them and us. And there shouldn't be a barrier between you and your people. You're all working for the same common good. And staff is the old-fashioned. It's Downton Abbey. It's upstairs, downstairs. it's the butler. Oh, thank you. A beer as well. My word. Oh, it's Italian, of course.
Obviously, yeah.
Birra Moretti.
Birra
Authentica. Cheers. So your staff, you can't call them staff because that suggests there's a big barrier between you and them, and that's not the case at all. That's not how you grow people anymore. It used to be 20, 30 years ago, but no more.
No, I believe the same. It's something that, especially between now there's a younger and younger generation who's really struggling to start a career or there's a lot of doubts on what you want to do in life, right? So I think
they want reassurance and advice as well. Yeah.
They don't want kind of like military hierarchy kind of thing. People are tired of that.
Yeah.
So for example, I had one of my guys. We were working at the beginning. I said to him, when somebody walks into the door. Or through the door. Through the door.
Yeah, hopefully they don't walk into the door. That might be a nasty bump on the forehead.
That's going to hurt a lot. I always said to the clients, my colleague is coming for you. Or
not my staff.
Not at all. Or
do you have staff, Dom?
My this is that. Wow, this is not the way it should be. I'm not even the owner, but if I believe that we share the same work ethic.
Yeah.
In this, you have to be as friendly as possible, always maintaining your position.
Yeah.
but definitely not treat people as they are not on the same level as you.
Yeah.
Some of them are so good that probably I wouldn't be allowed.
Listen, I always take the view you hire people who are better than you, because then they're going to improve your business.
Oh, definitely.
Always. And they help keep it fresh. They come in with new ideas. And you don't have all the answers. Never. Look back at what I said about Richard Branson.
True.
He's still learning at 73. He's still learning. He wants to know more. He's built a business based on listening to people and how good they are. And that's the thing. You've got to trust new people coming into your business. You're hiring them for a reason. You're hiring them because they bring new ideas in and fresh thinking.
True.
And that keeps a business alive and going from strength to strength.
Absolutely, so true. And
we came out of COVID, and I think we went into COVID, into the pandemic, with about 18 people. Sadly, we had to lay off a few during COVID because obviously there was a downturn in travel at the time. Then we built back up during COVID, and we came out of COVID with about 22 people, and now we're 38 people. So we've really grown a lot in the last 2 or 3 years, and that's, I hope, because we're hiring really good people who bring fresh ideas in, which helps grow your business.
That's great. Yeah. That's amazing. Do you find it difficult to hire people nowadays?
Yeah, it is quite hard to hire people, partly because of Brexit, I'll be honest. I think Brexit's been a disaster for the UK. Before Brexit, we could hire Europeans who were coming into the UK very easily. And now you can't find those Europeans. They haven't got citizenship, or it's hard for them to work here. There's a great talent pool in the UK, but it's very competitive out there. So employees have been looking for other jobs, and they have a choice of where they can work because there's lots of openings, especially as the older workforce seem to disappear. They're dropping out of the workplace and the labour market. So it's been quite hard. And also with inflation and higher inflation, that's pushed up salaries and wages. So you're having to pay more to get the right person. But when you find the right person, it's such a great feeling. You know in your gut you've found the right person, and they're worth every penny, and they're going to deliver amazing stuff. So it's worth holding out to find the right people. But it's harder, no doubt about it. Much harder.
How do you manage to travel so much if you have a business? Because you travel for your business, obviously.
Yeah.
But you may have people work for you on the administration and everything. But how do you manage to keep it fresh, like your mind especially? Like you said you were in Bali. Bali is not around the corner. How can you be so fresh and speak that you're right?
Okay, so good question. So first of all, if you have a great team, they run your business with you or for you, and that means you can be off. And even with remote working, they can, they take decisions without me. That's fine. Of course, that's how you're going to make a great business. Delegate them, give them authority to make decisions, to grow their own careers as a result. But also remote working these days, it's so much easier. Email works, Zoom works. You can be anywhere in the world. Your office is anywhere these days. You don't have to be stuck in a building. You have just as much access to email and folders and files, whether you're in Bali or whether you're in central London. So it's really easy to do. And actually, I let my team do a lot of remote working. I've got a guy who works for us, a great guy called Charlie, who is from Jamaica. We've allowed him to go back to Jamaica for a month to be with his family, and he's working from there on UK hours. So he's up at sort of 6 a.m. in Jamaica. He's working pretty well on UK hours, and then he finishes at 2 p.m. or whatever his time. And we've all shut up shop for the day in the UK, and he's doing the job just as well from Jamaica as he is from here. So flexibility has made a huge difference to how you can run a business these days.
It's great.
It's harder for you being a barber, right? You can't come with me. Well, you can come with me to Bali and cut my hair there. You could,
If
do
you
that,
want
actually.
to, I mean,
That's
we can go
a good idea.
tomorrow. There's no problem. I think you have to go to Bali now, really, like in a couple hours.
When I'm really rich and got my private jet,
you can
Dom,
fly
you
me.
can come with me on the private jet to Bali,
Absolutely.
right?
Fly me to the moon, my friend. Mamma mia.
Keep dreaming. It may happen one day.
Yes, yeah. Keep
When I win the
dreaming.
lottery, it'll happen.
I don't want much.
You'll be the first on the private jet with me, okay? To cut my hair as we go. But yeah, I guess you can't really move your business unless you physically go somewhere else.
Is yeah, definitely. I mean, the business is, if I keep working in my barbershop, is impossible.
Yeah. it's
If I
hard.
have a couple of branches in London and somewhere else, I may move from a place to another, but I can easily do it.
I came across a hairdresser recently where they have opened their hairdressers in, I think the Maldives it was, and they put their hairdresser into a hotel in the Maldives, right? And so they do everybody's hair coming through. They've still got their hairdressers in London and I think somewhere else in the UK. So you could open a branch, right, in Bali or the Maldives or whatever.
Bali, you can also open it in
Put it in a
Bali,
hotel.
to be honest. You know, Bali is beautiful. I've never been. I will go definitely with your private jet one day, but you know,
You'll be on board.
I'll start keeping it simple. I'll start keeping it like fresh.
Yeah, one day.
One day
Peter.
now. It's gonna take years and years. I'm not even willing to open a barbershop right now because I know there's a lot to learn on the business side.
It's hard growing a business. I mean, what I've learned is cash is king. Try and build up as much cash as you can in a business, you know. It's really important because you never know when there's going to be another pandemic or a rainy day. Actually, there's loads of rainy days in Britain. But anyway, you can guarantee there'll be a rainy day. But it's important to keep the cash as much as you can in the business because then you know you're more relaxed about running that business. You can sleep at night. You know that you're not going to run out of money. Okay, so build up the cash is really important in the business. And then obviously hire good people, build up the cash, and offer amazing customer service. That is the thing. Deliver great client service to your clients and they will stay with you and keep coming back to you. Those businesses that try to take a quick buck, don't focus on quality of service and don't care about their people, they'll run out of road. They won't last. So there's some pretty good fundamentals you can stick to and know you'll be in business in a few years.
And also because probably a business is not even seen from the first 5 years. A good business has been like,
Takes years.
It takes a while to have like
Yeah.
a proper strong fundament with it. So
Yeah.
it can be good for 5 years, 10 years, but then you see the way you work with people you hire, but also like literally there must be a vision. There must be a future within the future.
Yeah, it takes well, it can be quicker, but generally it takes 3 years to build a profitable business. And after 3 years, you're more comfortable because you've made some money and you made a profit, you're more relaxed, and then you concentrate on growing your business for the next 5.
Yeah.
And you'll find that people also start coming to you because you're established. You've proved yourself over the 3 years, you've built a great business and a great brand, and then they'll keep coming to you and you get bigger and bigger. And that tends to be what happens in business.
Wow.
Whether you're a small or a larger business, you grow that way. So, you know, you will undoubtedly grow your business over a 5-year period and then you'll have your Bali office.
Oh, I wish. No worries, man. I'll open a company in Bali now.
Yeah, do it.
So at least I know that in the future I already have
Somewhere to go.
So I'll buy a land in Bali. Talking about business, obviously, how many location you manage, if you can count them?
So in terms of clients in different places or office locations?
The easiest way for you.
So we have we have our head office in London.
All right.
We have a team that travels all over the world to go and see clients.
Yep.
So obviously, you know, we have to look after them when they're traveling. We give everybody in our business global travel insurance, global healthcare. We give them free cinema tickets, free mental health counselling and wellness. We give everybody access to free glasses every year. They get £500 to spend on glasses and money to spend on dental treatment. They get some great perks, and we believe in wellness. It's so important this day and age. So they travel all over the world. In terms of clients, we have clients in lots of countries around. We probably have clients in 30 or 40 countries around the world. And from UK to France to USA to whatever. And we've probably got about 30 or 40 clients. And that's a good number to have, because I want to know who they are. I want to know the owners or the top people you're working with. It's really important to build a rapport with them, to get to know them well. And if you have too many clients, you lose track of them, and you can't do that. But I believe in bespoke service or personal service. And if you know your clients well, you can give them good quality.
Definitely.
And I really believe in that. It's quality that will determine how good your business is.
Where most places are?
Yeah. We've got people, a lot in the UK, a lot in Europe, Africa, a lot of clients in Africa, in Morocco, great hotels like La Sultana. We've got tourism boards all over the world, like Dubai and Finland, Grenada in the Caribbean, Chicago in the US, Bhutan. We have some amazing places.
What's the one that you love most?
Oh no! Now you're going to ask me which is the best, and if they watch this, if they watch this, they're going to say, "Why didn't you say mine?" And
what was the last most impressive? Let's say, like, given that all of them are beautiful, but the one that you were like, "Oh man, this is like new."
Well, I love Grenada in the Caribbean. I love it. People think it's Granada in Spain. It's not. It's Grenada in the Caribbean. I'm told somebody once got on a plane thinking they were going to Grenada in Spain, but they went to Grenada in the Caribbean. Anyway, I can't believe they got on that flight. Grenada is beautiful in the Caribbean. It's rich in character and people, and they're fun. It's got great food, and the mix of food from the rotis, the sort of wraps, chicken rotis that you can get, which are made locally, through to great fish. The waters are beautiful and clean, and sparkling blue waters. The beaches are amazing and clean. Grand Anse Beach is a phenomenal beach. It's got some terrific hotels like Calabash or Six Senses. It's got some beautiful hotels there. I just love it because the people are genuine, and that I also love that about Africa and Zambia, who we represent. It's rich and it's authentic and rich in character and color and people and experiences. I love those places which are pure. So Grenada's pure Caribbean, in my view. Zambia is pure Africa. You really feel you're in the heart, in the grit of Africa, the heart of Africa when you're in Zambia. And that's important to me when we take on a client, that you feel it's authentic.
It's not touristy. It's not too touristy.
No,
I mean, like yours.
No, you don't want anywhere that's over touristed.
Yeah.
You want places that are
your location are luxury locations, like places where people, in a way, feel like unique in wherever they
looked after and cared for.
True.
It's really, really important
Absolutely.
that they've got that sort of experience. Yeah.
What about Italy? You got.
So we've got some beautiful villas and hotels in Italy, in Amalfi Coast. Treville Positano is phenomenal, overlooking Positano. It used to be Franco Zeffirelli's home, the Italian film director, and he hosted all sorts of people there. Well-known names: Jeremy Irons, Maria Callas. You say it better than I do. The rich and famous gathered for parties there. We've got beautiful villas in Puglia, an amazing hotel owned by Madame Fendi in Rome, Rhinoceros Roma, which is a a hotel with its own art gallery, beautiful modern art, and an amazing rooftop restaurant. I love Italy. It's just, it's not a second home for me, but it's a place that I can guarantee when I go there, I'm going to get an amazing experience. The food, the people, it's fantastic.
What's now, given talking about the last conference, you said you were talking a lot about AI, weren't you?
AI, yeah.
AI.
What
What's going on
here?
here?
A minefield it is. I mean, AI, if you haven't tried it, you try it. ChatGPT or whatever, or Monica is my favorite new one. It's called Monica. And you basically, it does a lot of research for you. I'm torn at the moment as to whether AI is good or bad for various sectors. It takes tasks away from you that traditionally you've done. And so my worry about it is you've got a whole generation growing up who don't know how to do certain things. And I think that's a shame. And they don't know how to research stuff because they put it into Monica or AI apps, and they ask maybe, tell me 10 great things about Italy, and Monica will tell them and give them lots of information. And they're not researching that for themselves by asking people. So I'm worried about AI because we're losing the art of conversation. We're losing the art of curiosity. We're losing finding out for ourselves. It's all too easy now. But having said that, AI is transforming some industries. It's transforming who we deal with on the phone, calling an insurance call center, or the bank. It's speeding up processes. So in some ways, AI is amazing and developing great stuff for us. But overall, I'm concerned it's going to take jobs away as well. That's shocked. Not a good thing.
I'm shocked because yesterday I was watching a video. I was listening to a podcast actually, and they were talking about AI.
There are other podcasts?
Oh yeah. I mean, other than this, not many, but anyway. Not the best. This one is. But that's what I was saying. They were talking about, instead of like numbers in a sense that we could understand, or the impact of AI in humans, they were talking about gigawatts. What's the gigawatts percentage? They really didn't think about the human being on the artistic level, cultural level, communication level. They forgot about everything. Just thinking about like how fast and how better this world could be with AI. I think the human factor is crucial for AI to exist, but I don't think the AI is gonna only exist in terms of like jobs, like we still need humans to
always. You'll always need people.
You know what I mean?
Take music.
Yeah.
You will never go to Wembley Arena to watch a robot, right? You will always go to Wembley Arena to watch somebody sing, whether it's a Taylor Swift or Bruce Springsteen or whoever, right? You will always go to watch someone. So there are certain jobs and sectors which AI will have less impact on. I think you're right. In the luxury space which we work in, you always want that bespoke human touch. Someone to say, oh, Mr. Charles, I know you like this bottle of red wine. I'm going to personally make sure it's warm it's at the right temperature before we serve it to you. So there's always going to be an element of needing bespoke luxury. What AI does, though, I suppose in luxury, is behind the scenes speed up processes. And in luxury, you also want to often deliver things quite quickly at a very high level. So if AI can speed up processes to get me what I want, to give me the answer to what I need, then that's a good thing. But I will want that answer maybe delivered by a human, not necessarily always by an AI bot. So I think we're in interesting times. Put it this way, we're not going backwards. We're not going
Definitely
back.
not.
We're always going to go forwards, and AI is the way to do it.
Oh, mamma mia.
Yeah.
Mamma mia.
Yeah. So it's amazing times.
Amazing time, definitely. Definitely amazing times. What's your future like?
How's the hair doing, by the way?
Look at that.
That's good. That's nice.
Do I want to say it? No, because now
It's good.
I want to make sure, you know,
ears here.
you never know. You never know. Have a look.
It's good. I like that. I like that.
Let's do one thing. Look at this.
Oh, I'm from behind. Oh, there's a mirror there. Perfecto.
Yeah.
That's a nice length.
Is it?
I like that.
1.5 length.
Well, you should know me by now, so.
Yeah, after all these years, I should know you. I should know you.
You know you got to do the eyebrows.
Yeah, obviously.
Tops of the ears,
Remember last
all
time,
those,
Dom,
the
can you do my
accessory bits.
You asked for your eyebrows probably for half an hour, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it. No one's out. I've got a thing with eyebrows. Now
I don't like thick eyebrows.
I do it now. I do it straight away. I not even ask anymore. I want the eyebrows. Yeah, I mean, like yours are super. You got it cut now. You just refreshed yourself.
Well, occasionally I'll
they look
just
good.
check the
They look
eyebrows
good.
out or something.
Obviously.
But I never touch the hair. I can't touch my own hair. Gotta leave it to the experts, right?
Yeah.
Gotta leave it to the experts.
Sometimes.
But I know, as I say, in 4 weeks it's gonna be down to here.
Always your hairline, literally. That's why you come in 4 weeks. 4 weeks from now.
Get it in the diary.
Yeah, we're gonna book it after, so we sure 100%. But by the way,
The future. Sorry, you asked. The future.
yeah, the future.
What's the future hold? Well, I love my job. I love working in travel. I love the people in our business and that we work with. I'm still young. I've got many years left in me yet, so I'm going to keep going. I did read a book the other day called 4,000 Weeks. And do you know what 4,000 weeks is?
I know because you recommended me once, but you
Not
forgot.
supposed to say that.
No,
Supposed to
you-
say, no, what is 4,000 weeks?
We don't fake this. This is a true story.
authentic.
True, authentic life.
So 4,000 weeks is 80 years. So on average, we live to 80 years of age in our lives. 4,000 weeks. So break up your life into weeks. Quite scary, right? You go on holiday for a week, you've only got 3,999 left. So obviously, by the time you reach age 40, that's 2,000 weeks of your life gone, right? So by the time you reach age 50, it's 2,500 weeks of your life pretty well gone, if you live to 80. So this book basically says, Dom, that you should turn your life upside down. In effect, retire earlier for a period, maybe when you're about 45, if you can. A lot of people can't afford to, but if you can, try and retire a bit earlier or take it easy and slow down. Come out of the workforce, enjoy yourself whilst you're fit and healthy at 45. Do 10 years of, I don't know, charity work or living your life properly, not working, not doing emails. And then after those 10 years or so, go back to work when you're 55 and you've enjoyed 10 years of climbing mountains, being well, being fit and healthy, loving your life without the stress of work. And then go back to work at 55 and work through, because we're all going to live longer. We're all going to live for 5,000 weeks maybe, to your 90, 95, whatever. And I thought it was a great book. So a bit of me wants to sort of stop work for a while, for a few years and then go back to work. But it's not easy. It's not easy. But I love the premise of the book. It's great.
Yeah, the premise is ideological. It's like literally, it's very difficult. Very difficult. But, I actually started reading it. I bought
brilliant.
it straight away when he said to me.
And do you like it?
It's unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
It makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Literally, like, it's something like, but small things. Procrastination, for example, is crazy.
Yeah.
But you don't think about that.
Yeah.
And the way you perceive procrastination, the way you show people your love and your attentions, your time for yourself, is very, very deep, and it really helps me. This is the second time you're helping me. This is the second time you are helping me with something, because I really feel it's the right book to read to prevent some actions or some habits.
It makes you
behaviors.
think. Yeah, it makes you think, doesn't it?
Definitely.
And
It's
even
very
if
deep.
you do one thing out of it that helps you, that's great. But it is.
Absolutely.
I recommend it to anyone, even if you don't change the way you live or your lifestyle or your way of working, because it'll get you thinking, you know, should I be doing something a bit different?
Yeah.
And you know, life's fragile. It's very fragile. And you just have to live every day to the full. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. And hopefully you'll have a long and happy life and healthy one. But that book just brings home some choices you can make in your life.
That's great.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I want to ask you one last thing, but I want to ask you, first of all, do you like the haircut? Yes, I do. It's lovely. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's best ever haircut I've ever had. It's, oh my God.
Mamma mia. Unbelievable.
It's brilliant. It's great. I love this bit here. Got a bit grey here, so you've got to be careful with this bit. I love it. It's really nice. Thank you.
Great.
Yeah.
Can I style it? Do you want me to use any wax today?
No. You know what? I'm not a wax fan. I don't do the waxing thing, or I don't need to have it washed. My hair's just I love it natural. It's what it's supposed to be.
Au naturel.
Oh, natural. If you start putting wax on, you're playing with it, and it's great. It's
you
exactly
like to feel the wind in
just
your
what
hair.
Mama ordered. This.
Bravo.
Yeah, it's perfecto. Yeah, thank you.
Last questions.
Yes.
Because we were talking about the future.
Yes.
Past. Have you got any regrets?
Have I got any regrets? No, I've loved my career. I've loved the people I work with and mix with.
In life?
I would say my one regret is perhaps starting work a bit too early. So as I say, I started as being a Saturday tea boy when I was about 13. And I got into the BBC very early. It's undoubtedly helped me. It's been brilliant, you know, for my own development and career. But maybe I was working too hard too early, and I could have enjoyed life a bit more early on. But no, I don't regret it. I've loved every minute. I've worked with amazing people. I touch wood. I'm healthy.
Everything we touch.
And non Meg touch wood.
Touch wood.
And no, I think, you know, I've had amazing experiences and traveled the world. And as I say, that's kept me fresh and excited about everything and passionate. And I think enthusiasm has been drilled into me from an early age, and that's really important. And, you know, my parents have been and were amazing at making sure we grew up, you know, healthily and in the right way. And no, I love it.
That's great. Great to hear.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy to have you here.
Thank you. It's been great being your guest. Thank you.
Grazie. Grazie mille.
Amazing.
Perfetto, e alla prossima. See you later. See you next time.
Because you are your future.